The New York Customs House, the most powerful political machine in United States history, and the true heart of the patronage system. All the real power in this country went to such political machines. Sure, the people voted, but we had the power to make someone president. Unless you maintained a good relationship with the machine, you didn't make it very far in politics. For 7 years, I was a collector of the New York Customs House. My name is Chester Allen Arthur.
Get back. I'm alright, Jack. Keep your hands off of my stack. Money, it's a hit. Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Alright, Chester, you know the drill. Oh, hello, Arthur. Stephen Murphy's in your office. He said he wants to talk to you.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
Murphy, how's the Star Ridge project going?
Mr. Arthur, listen. This is just impossible to do legally. President Grant wants extensive postal routes, but that will cut right through the native reserves, including the Cherokees, Pawnee, and the Passamaquoddies.
Alright, now listen carefully. Congress can seize those lands using eminent domain. We just need to get enough senators on board to make it happen. So, here's what we're going to do. You're going to contact the Commissioner of Internal Revenue and get him to raise import taxes on the state of Virginia, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Maine. Hopefully we can get enough senators from those states to switch their position under pressure.
Okay, Mr. Arthur.
Oh, one thing. Give me the numbers of those senators first. I'll call them, give them fair warning, hopefully change their position sooner.
It will be done.
Thank you. As such, I managed to raise import taxes in those states, and after making some phone calls, I naturally had some senators mad at me. Senator Charles Devens from Massachusetts was especially angry. However, all it took was for me to say that the tariffs I imposed would hurt his state's economy, and he melted like butter. Politicians are all the same. Their primary concern is their job. High tariffs means a weak economy, and a weak economy means Senator Devens here doesn't get re-elected.
Chester,
Sco, good to see you, my friend.
how you doing?
Oh, I've been doing very good. Nell and I just had a daughter.
Oh, congratulations. Give my regards to Nell.
Thank you, I will. So, what brings you back from DC so soon?
Well, I wanted to check up on the Star Roots project.
Well, you'll be pleased to know everything's going great. I recently got all the senators I needed to switch their votes.
Really? Even Devens?
Devens. Talks a big game, but that's all he is, just talk.
No, what I really wanted to talk about is the Republican National Convention. As you know, Hayes is the likely nominee.
Oh, Hayes. One of those moderates. Now, they say they want civil service reform, but really, they just want to shut us down.
I like to call them half-breed Republicans. Now, we can't let Hayes and the rest of his half-breeds take over our party. And as you know, I don't have enough pledged delegates to beat him. That's where you come in.
Well, in this instance, I don't think coercion through tariffs would work. The only thing that could work is just a flat-out bribe. So, at the end of the month, I'll give myself a pay bonus, and I can use that money to privately pay the delegates.
Good. I hope I can trust you on this. I'm counting on you.
Nell, I'm home.
I'm in the living room.
What's going on here?
Ever since you became the collector, you've been working 16-hour days. Every day. You can't expect me to raise another child like this.
Well, what about William? Can he help?
William is in Boston.
Right. Well, I suppose after the Republican National Convention, I can cut my hours back a bit and help out a bit more. Listen, we'll talk later. I have a lot of work to do tonight.
This just in, we are receiving reports of riots starting to build up outside of the Republican National Convention Center.
So, after 2 months, the Republican National Convention came. The stalwarts and the moderates were so divided they broke out fighting. We bribed enough delegates for Conklin to win, but many of them just took the money and ran with their tail between their legs. We couldn't do anything about that. It's not like we can sue them for not obeying the rules of our bribe. So, Rutherford Hayes became the Republican nominee.
I would like to congratulate Mr. Hayes on winning the nomination, and I fully lend my support. At such a critical time, it is important that both stalwarts and moderates unite as a single Republican Party.
Hello, Rusco. No, I'm sorry you didn't get the nomination. Hayes stole it from you.
It's fine, but there's no way in hell we could let Hayes win.
But at the convention you said...
I know what I said. It was a politically calculated move. Hayes means to destroy us. I want you to wire $200,000 to Samuel Tilden's account as soon as possible.
Really? Tilden? But he's a Democrat.
I know that, but Tilden hasn't called for civil service reform. In my book, that makes him more of a Republican than Hayes.
Okay. Alright. I'll see to it. Sorry again on you not getting the nomination.
Listen, Chester, I trust that you can handle it. Right now, I have some personal matters to deal with. Devin. Hi. It's a pleasure.
So I told my husband when I get upstairs. Would you mind if I get another bottle?
I'm good. I personally don't drink.
Oh, okay.
It's my wife. I'll be home by 12. You know what? How we get some privacy? Head over a motel. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty good.
Senator Devins, we expect to see you here.
You really think I wouldn't find out what you're doing with my wife?
How'd you know we were here?
I checked the reservations for every restaurant in town.
Alright, everybody, let's just calm down here. It's really not that big of a deal.
No, first you and your lackey threaten me, then you steal my wife?
Listen here, Devins. You're gonna get the hell out of here while I plow your wife, you damn cuck!
I'll remember this.
The election soon came. Tilden was leading in the polls, so we were very optimistic going into the night. It was all up to the populace at this point.
We are getting projections from the Northeast that reveal Tilden is leading in New York and New Jersey, while Hayes is taking Maine.
Virginia just went for Tilden, giving him a lead now of 20 electoral votes.
Folks, this election is one of the closest in history. Hayes had just snatched Florida, South Carolina, and Ohio.
Just when you thought he was out, the polls now show that Tilden has overwhelming support in the states of Texas and New York, giving him the slight lead.
And we have the results from all 50 states. Rutherford Hayes has become the new President of the United States of America by the smallest margin in history.
It was so close. 2 votes. 2 fucking votes. And now our entire operation is in jeopardy.
Alright, let's calm down and work out a strategy. In all honesty, I think you're overestimating Hayes. I don't think he can get much done with the divided Republican Party.
I hope you're right, but we still have to be extra careful. Anything gets out, and the entire operation is in jeopardy.
I know, that's why I've been creating fake IDs for all my subordinates when I need them to do something underhanded.
It's a good first step. I think we should move in the direction of obstruction. Although I don't want us to be blindly obstructionists, because that can taint our reputation or that of the other stalwarts. We cannot let him get anything done. Anything goes wrong, we blame him. And then hopefully in 4 years, we could just get somebody else in there.
But that's the question, who do we nominate?
I don't know. Chester, tell me. If someone were to take a closer look into our operations, what kind of crimes could we be convicted of?
Well, to name a few, embezzlement, bribery, misappropriation, theft, and murder.
Jesus Christ.
Ah, Congo. Glad you received my message to meet here. We don't hang out enough.
Bite me, Devins.
Is that any way you want to talk to me? I'm sure you heard Hayes nominated me for Attorney General. You know what that means, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to be taking a closer look on your operations, see firsthand the tactics you employ.
So you came here to gloat, is that it?
Call it strategic intimidation. See you around. Just go.
Looks like someone finally grew a pair.
No, please. I told you this before. When I develop a coherent strategy to defeat Hayes, I will take more time off, I promise. I gotta go, bye.
So you wanted me to be here?
Oh yes, as you know, President Hayes will be inaugurated rather soon. So what I need you to do is act as a spy for me. I want you to infiltrate the Department of Justice and keep tabs on the administration and Attorney General Devins. Report any activity of them wanting to crack down on us.
Alright.
Alright, and remember, your new name is Shu Wei Cao. You're from New Jersey and you have a master's in law. Here.
It will be done.
Good man, Murphy. Hayes was sworn in at 12 o'clock, January 20th. He immediately went to work. He severely underestimated how much he could accomplish.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone.
So how are you in now?
Not good. Well, actually kicked me out of the house. I've been living out of an apartment near the customs house ever since.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible.
We're actually meeting tonight to try to patch things up, so we need actually...
Yeah, right. The market's recently taken a downturn. If it goes into a full recession, there's no way Hayes can get renominated. So I think we should do everything in our power to kick the market while it's down, to really screw over Hayes. I'm going to propose a bill in the Senate to raise taxes on some of the struggling industries.
Alright, I'll meet with Johnson tomorrow, come up with a plan.
No, we can't take any risks. Not with all the new civil service reform. I think I'm going to try and pass this bill the right way.
So, what do you want me to do then?
I want you to go on all the major news networks and promote this bill. I need the populace to think that this bill will help the economy. Nothing underhanded, nothing illegal, just good old, simple, legal propaganda.
Alright, I'll make the arrangements tomorrow. I actually need to go now, but I'll see you around.
Nicholas, show Mr. Arthur the door.
Sir, Mr. Murphy's at the door.
Murphy? At this hour? Let him in, I guess.
Where's Mr. Arthur? I need to find him. He's neither answering his phone nor at his house.
Why? Last time I talked to him, he said he was going to see his wife.
I've been keeping tabs on Attorney General Devens, and I just found out he's been looking into the Star Wars project.
What?
He'll be at the custom house soon with a warrant for all progress.
How soon?
Within a few hours.
Nicholas, grab my jacket! I want you to replace all the files I took out. Replace any mentions of my name with Chester Arthur.
But wouldn't that incriminate Mr. Arthur?
Don't worry about Arthur. Listen, Devens has a vendetta against me, not him. Not to mention, it'll seem fishy if neither of us are mentioned.
I don't know.
Just do it!
Mr. Conkling, Attorney General Devens is in the building.
Damn it, Murphy, are you done yet?
And finished.
Attorney General Devens.
Here I have a warrant, meaning I want your files on the Star Roots project. The president wanted to investigate corruption, and seeing as I firsthand know the tactics you employ, I was very glad to carry out his wishes.
Well, I happen to have the files with me right now. HR was telling me there may be some small discrepancies, but I'm sure we can sort out any misunderstandings.
Man, you could just smell the bullshit from a mile away.
Hello?
Hey Chester, it's Risco.
Oh, what's up, Risco?
Just checking in. It's been a while. How are things with Nell?
Not good. She's been living with her parents for a while now.
That sucks. I'm really sorry to hear that.
So, what were all those missed calls a few weeks ago about?
Listen, I need you to come down to the customs house right away. You'll figure out why when you get there.
Okay. What's going on here?
I've conducted investigations on the Star Roots projects. I've collected enough evidence to formally indict you. President Hayes has requested your resignation of the Port of New York.
Is this a joke? I'm Chester Allen Arthur. Who are you? Some loser. This is my job, and I'm not gonna let you take this from me.
Chester, this is what's gonna happen.
I've been waiting a long time for this. If I could, I would indict your master. Your hearing will be in 4 months.
This is unbelievable. 7 years ago, you invited me to your house just so you can offer me the position of collector. And now, some son of a bitch wants to take that job from me, and you have nothing to say!
Chester, listen! This is what's gonna happen. You need to accept the circumstances and move on.
Fine. This isn't over.
Don't think I don't know what you're doing.
Whatever do you mean?
How convenient that Arthur orchestrated everything. I know you were meddling with those documents, I just can't prove it.
Well, I'm afraid without any evidence, it's all just speculation.
I'm not closing this investigation until you're behind bars.
I'd be careful with those accusations, Devins. Some may call those comments conspiracy.
Hey Mel, this is Chester. I've been let go as collector. It's okay, because now I have more time, more time to spend with you and the kids, and I can be the husband you need me to be. I can be him now. I can be the husband you need me to be now. Call me back when you get this.
The collector of the Port of New York, Chester Arthur, was fired yesterday by President Hayes. The White House claims that this decision was made over Arthur's connection to what is now being called the Star Route scandal. More at 11.
Alright, so now that we're in private, go on.
What you did to Mr. Arthur was wrong.
What we did to Mr. Arthur.
It doesn't matter. You made him take the fall for the crimes that he did not commit. And to be frank, it's been bothering me for a while. He lost his job, he lost everything. As his secretary, I had to tell him the truth.
Alright, Murphy, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be your friend. I think you're a bit of a spineless toady anyway, so I won't have any problem destroying you. If you speak another word of this to anybody, especially Chester, you're gonna lose everything. You'll lose your house, your job, and all your money. I have connections with all the big banks and the IRS. What do you have? Now get the hell out of my car. Ah, Chester. Good to see you. Sit down, please. So, what do you think of my study?
Well, Mr. Conklin.
Oh, call me Risco.
Risco. It's a very nice study indeed.
Thank you.
So, may I ask why you called me to meet you in private here?
So I guess we're just gonna cut right to the chase. See, Grant recently fired Stevens from the Customs House, and we need a new collector, and you're the first one that came to my mind.
Risco, please.
Oh, listen, with all the work you've done for the Republican Party, the Senate would vote you in a heartbeat.
Mr. Conkling, I'm a lawyer. I've always been a lawyer. I always will be a lawyer. It's what I know. No, I'm sorry. The answer's no.
That's funny. I don't remember asking you. Do you realize the collector makes more money than the president? Can you fathom all the connections you'll make, the power you'll obtain? Look at you. You're weak, pathetic. I give you the opportunity to become one of the most powerful men in the country, and you turn me down? Listen, I'm sorry for snapping. I would just put any disagreements behind us, you take the job, and all is well.
Okay, I'll consider it.
Good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Soon my hearing came. Devins was hell-bent on seeing me behind bars, but I was going to put up a fight. I went against common sense and decided to defend myself.
My investigations yielded clear results. Chester Allen Arthur abused his power of the collector of the Port of New York in order to pass the Star Routes project. These documents that I obtained from the Customs House will show you tariff records of Mr. Arthur levying taxes on the states of Massachusetts, Maine, Virginia, and New Jersey, as well as phone records of him and his subordinates calling the senators from those states, Senators who, I mind you, who did not support Grant's Star Route project until mysteriously after these phone calls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the clearest case of abuse of power and corruption.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear, so help me God.
Senator Wilson, is it true that on April 7th of the year in question that you received a phone call from Mr. Arthur?
Yes, that is correct. My staff just received the call, and when they realized it was someone important, they transferred the call over to me. Mr. Arthur had just informed me that he imposed some strict import taxes on my state of New Jersey, and that he wouldn't change it until I changed my vote.
Thank you. No further questions.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear, so help me God.
Stephen Murphy, you've worked under me for many years. How would you describe me?
Oh, well, I would say you're very fair.
Do I strike you as capable of committing the crimes I'm accused of?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled.
Well, I'll repeat the question.
No, sir, you certainly don't seem like the type of person who would do that.
Lastly, to the best of your knowledge, have I ever ordered you or any other subordinates to threaten, blackmail, or bribe?
No, sir, not to my knowledge.
Thank you. No further questions.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear, so help me God.
Mr. Compton, if you stated that such allegations are true, you have no knowledge of them, is that correct?
Yes, the charges against Mr. Arthur are news to me.
So, you think these allegations are false?
Absolutely. Mr. Arthur is a patriot and a hard-working citizen who pays his taxes. I couldn't see him breaking any laws.
Despite that, in light of all overwhelming evidence, you still have no knowledge of anything Arthur has been accused of. How can you be so ignorant? After all, you are the controller of patronage.
Yes, but as a senator, I have duties aside from patronage. I'll leave most of that work to Mr. Arthur.
But Senator, according to the phone records I've collected, 55% of all calls made to your office were from
Objection,
Arthur.
irrelevant.
Sustained. No further questions.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear, so help me God.
Mr. Arthur, did you raise tariffs in the states in question?
Well, that is correct. However, it was not for the purpose of extortion.
On whose authority did you place these tariffs? I don't remember Congress or the legislature passing such tariffs.
On my own authority.
But is that not unconstitutional?
The Tariff Act of 1883 set clear precedent for the collector to levy tariffs. This was later validated by the Supreme Court case Nix v. Hedden, so I acted within the complete bounds of the law.
But why did you raise taxes in those states?
Well, I felt the deficit was getting out of hand, so I increased the government's revenue. You're welcome.
Yes, but why those states specifically?
They had large economies based on ports, so it naturally made sense to tax them.
But there are many other states with larger port-based economies than New Jersey and Virginia, so why did you tax them?
Well, I was acting on President Grant's behalf. Those are the states you want tariffs on.
But that's not what you said.
Well,
You said you acted on your own behalf.
it was a simple slip of the tongue.
Would you like for us to read what you said back to you?
I know what I said!
So tell me, Arthur, why did Grant want these states taxed? Could it be to put pressure on the senators to change their votes?
You know what, Devins? Say what you want about me, but you will always be a pathetic little cock!
No further questions.
In light of evidence, I find Chester Allen Arthur guilty of all charges, and I sentence him to pay a fine of $20,000.
That's it? Are you kidding me?
I will have order in my court, or I'll put you in contempt of court. Court dismissed.
My connections finally paid off. Compton called up some favors and got the judge on my side, and just like that, I was free.
Alright, what did you do? Pay off the judge? Blackmail him? What is it?
Listen, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Listen, what do you think? I'm too stupid to realize what went on in there?
If you don't hand me, I'll be pressing charges. After coming out of my hearing unscathed, I felt almost untouchable. However, this feeling only lasted a very short while. William! What a nice surprise. What are you doing here?
It's Mom.
Speak up, boy. I can't hear you.
She died last night.
What?
She had pneumonia, and a week after it was discovered, she died.
Why am I just finding out about this now?
She didn't want me to tell you.
Fine.
Dad, wait!
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I
Nell, I'm home.
My sweetest friend.
I was meeting with Senator Compton today, and he's getting President Grant to nominate me for the collector of the Port of New York.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I really just don't want to be some government bureaucrat. The law is what I know. It's my career.
Well, we need the money to send William to college, right?
I guess you're right.
I will let you down. I will make you hurt.
Chester, what are you doing?
Enjoying a drink.
Now's not the time for that. Haven't you been watching the news? Hayes is running for re-election. This is a perfect opportunity for us to take action.
Leave me alone, please.
Come on, I need you for this. We could retake power in one swoop.
You know, I'm done with this. Politics is what made me lose Nell to begin with. And now that she's passed away, I can never get her back. I have enough money to retire and send my kids to school, so why should I care about your election?
Because now nothing's holding you back.
You know, I never even really wanted the job as collector. You forced it upon me.
Yes, but think of all the great work you did for your country. Think of your children and their future. Do you really want power falling into the wrong hands all over again?
I'm done talking.
Is this what Nell wanted for you? Drunk in a bar?
Goodbye, Risco.
Alright, fine. But when you're ready to stop feeling sorry for yourself and get serious, call me.
Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all.
Stephen Murphy. Well, pleasant surprise. It's been too long.
Mr. Arthur, I figured I'd check up to you and see how you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just hanging in there.
So what happened to your baby daughter?
Oh, well, Nell's parents currently have custody. The courts figured that someone who's unemployed and has a criminal record wouldn't be fit to be a parent.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, thank you for stopping by. Very much appreciate it.
Myself, I would find a way.
Hello, Risco. It's Chester. I've just been thinking about what you said, and you're right. It's time for me to move on. So, what do you got for me?
I'm glad to hear that. Come to my house this Friday. I have something for you.
All right. Thank you.
Chester, good to see you've made it.
Thank you, Risco.
I'm sure you recognize James Garfield, front runner for the Republican nomination.
It's nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you too, I suppose.
Okay, let's cut to the chase. With the RNC right around the corner, and me being the only one with a real shot at winning the nomination, I've shifted my focus to the general election. So, that's why I need you, Chester. I want you to be my vice president.
Wow. This is the biggest opportunity you've ever had, and I think we should take it.
I see what you're doing. You're seen as a bit of a moderate, so you want me as your VP pick so you can unite the party under you.
You're honestly right. I need someone with your kind of intelligence to be part of my future administration.
So, what do you say?
Well, how could I possibly say no?
Excellent. Risco will send you my contact information, and I'd love to stay and talk, but I'm needed at a rally. Risco, it's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Once again, Chester, I'm looking forward to working with you. And listen, guys, no funny business. I want to win this election fair and square.
No problem. I promise it'll be a clean election.
Good.
So, looks like it's time to develop a strategy to ensure our victory.
Shouldn't be a problem. In a matter of months came the RNC. Garfield sure has challengers, but this time things went our way. Garfield easily and decisively won.
I humbly and most graciously accept the nomination for the Republican Party. The truth is that our country and our party are in bad shape. We are in the middle of a recession. Our debt has reached a record high. Corruption in Washington has stolen our republic. That is why I ran for this nomination. So, I can put this great nation of ours back on track. Not only will I unify the Republican Party, but I will also bind the wounds of the democracy. Together, we will unify every man, woman, and child from the East Coast to the West in a singular vision of American exceptionalism. Together, we will restore the American dream to its former glory. Together, we will purge our society of hatred. I would like to thank each and every one of my supporters, as well as those who did not support me. Thank you and good night.
So, how does it feel to finally be back in your old office?
It feels good. Never thought I'd miss this place so much.
We just have to keep this on the down low. If Devin's figured out you were back in here, he'd probably have a heart attack. So what's your plan?
Well, I wanted to wait till after the DNC and RNC to get some more accurate general election polls, and sadly it's not looking good.
How bad is it?
Well, Real Clear Politics has Garfield down 10 whole percentage points.
Jesus, really?
Now, it's not impossible to bounce back, so here's my plan.
Charles Guiteau, huh?
Yes, Guiteau is a committed stalwart and former colleague of mine. His family has owned a pigeon farm for many generations. So, you talk to a New York State legislator and tell him to give him a multi-million-dollar subsidy. He can then use that money to donate to our campaign in the form of a super PAC.
Okay, so then we can spend enough money on political ads to close the gap. I like it.
Yes, so I'll arrange for him to meet us here Tuesday.
Hello?
Charles Guiteau. This is Chester Allen Arthur. We worked together 11 years ago at the same law firm.
Oh yeah, Chester, what's up?
Well, I heard you had some political ambitions, and I have an arrangement I think you'll like. Meet me at the New York Customs House at 5 on Tuesday.
Okay.
Now, Charles, you understand your role in all this, right?
Yeah, no problem. I donate the subsidy to the Garfield campaign.
Yes, and in return, Garfield will grant you the cabinet position. Who knows, maybe even Secretary of Treasury.
Wow. Maybe in 8 years I'll even run for president.
We'll have to see about that one.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, Charles, wait. I've been doing extensive research on your history and found that 8 years ago, you had a drug addiction and were convicted of possession. Is this true?
Listen, that's ancient history. I've been sober for over 3 years.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. As weeks went by and as our funds increased, Garfield's polls rose and rose ever so surely. By the time the debates came around, he had a real shot of winning.
Chester, you did a great job at the VP debate last night.
Thank you. Well, when your opponent's winning English, it's pretty hard to lose.
So why'd you call for this impromptu meeting?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Garfield wanted me to pick his Secretary of State nominee, and his campaign manager gave me this list of names.
Alright, so what are our options?
Alright, first off, we got James Blaine.
Oh my god.
What?
Blaine's a libertarian.
True, but doesn't mean he's bad on foreign policy.
Sure, but I just find that bunch to be kind of dumb. Everything they say is just my liberty, my freedom, my limited government. Not to mention the fact libertarians are typically pretty anti-patronage.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, let's see. We also got Congressman Robert Owen.
Owen? That's even worse. He's a socialist, for Christ's sake. He wants to eliminate all business. I don't care how good or bad he is on foreign policy. Somebody like that shouldn't have Garfield's ear. Who the hell is thinking of these choices?
Yeah, well, Garfield's campaign is based on centrism and unity, so I suppose he just wants people from all over the political spectrum on his cabinet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I agree, it's dumb. And his blind allegiance to centrism might hurt his administration if he gets elected, but well, let's see what else we got. Alright, there's Putnam.
Putnam, he's an evangelical. He's just one of those out-of-touch lunatics that's obsessed with his guns and his Bible. I'll pass.
Alright, and Governor Griffin.
He's a white nationalist.
Alright, that's not fair. At worst, he's just a civic nationalist.
Well, I guess after hearing all these choices, my Liberty Blaine's probably the best way to go, so that's what I'd do.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Well, thank you for your time.
No problem.
The general election finally reared its head around the corner. The media was dismissive of Garfield, believing he didn't have a chance. It was up to the country to prove them wrong.
Thank you for joining us in our live coverage of the presidential election. We're now getting word that the polls are finally opening.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting reports that New York just went to Garfield.
It seems that all the people who said that Garfield couldn't win were right, as Hancock has just claimed Virginia, Missouri, and California. The path to victory is looking slim.
It seems Garfield has pulled an unbelievable comeback by claiming Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Ohio.
Hancock has only a 20-vote lead over Garfield, and since the next few states are red, Garfield has a clear path to victory.
This has been one incredible campaign. First, I would like to thank Mr. Hancock for putting a good fight. And to all the supporters, I ask that you don't be sad. Rather, that you look forward to the future. We are on the precipice of a new chapter in American history. One of hope, optimism, and strength. I'm not just looking to be president to Republicans. I wish to be everyone's president. It's been a long night. Let's all get some much needed rest. Tomorrow is a new day.
Sir, the president-elect and vice president-elect are here to see you.
By all means, let them in.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on your victory, Mr. President-elect.
Thank you, Wisco. Chester and I felt it was necessary to stop by and properly thank you for all the work you've done on my campaign.
Oh, don't worry, the pleasure was all mine. I sort of felt it was my civic duty to help the man most qualified for the job. So now that you're in, have you given any consideration to cabinet positions?
Well, as you already know, we have James Blaine for Secretary of State.
Yeah, I heard, but what about some of the other positions, like, say, Secretary of Treasury?
Well, you know what? I'm actually glad you brought that up.
What's going on?
I have a recommendation for Secretary of Treasury. His name is Charles Guiteau.
Guiteau's business experience will make him indispensable to your new administration.
This man is totally unqualified. He's never even held a military or government position. It makes no sense why you'd pick him.
Well, like we said, he has tremendous business experience. I mean, he ran the Guiteau Pigeon Farm for 15 years.
I would highly recommend you pick this man.
It really makes no sense why you two are pushing for him.
Well, we felt as if we owed it to him. After all, he donated quite a bit of money to your super PAC.
Are you telling me that you made some kind of deal with this Guiteau guy where you promised him a position in my cabinet?
Well, you need to understand.
No, you need to understand. This is exactly the kind of underhanded tactics that I warned both of you about. And you both blatantly lied to me.
James, listen. Guiteau helped you get elected, so now we're repaying him for his services. That's how politics works.
No! Listen, I'm done speaking to you, Senator Conkling. I wanted to work alongside you with the other moderates in Congress, but you're very untrustworthy.
Come on, you're being a bit harsh on him, don't you think?
No, not at all. And you're my vice president. You need to get on the same page if you want this administration to work.
Okay. I'm sorry. I promise this sort of thing will not happen again.
Good. I'll see you at our next press conference.
Nicholas, see Mr. President-elect out. Damn, I didn't realize how much of a half-breed Garfield is.
You know, honestly, he's right. You shouldn't have gone behind his back like that.
Whatever.
Hello?
This is President-elect Garfield.
Oh, it's finally great to hear from you.
It's come to my attention that you were promised a cabinet position. Well, I must regret to inform you that someone more qualified for the position has come along and I will not be nominating you.
What?
I apologize for any inconvenience.
This isn't fair. I was promised a position and you're just gonna take it from me?
The position was never yours to begin with. Goodbye.
January 20th, 12 o'clock. James Garfield was sworn in to be president. 5 months later, a tragedy shocked the nation.
I'm a stalwart. Chester Arthur is president.
The president's been shot. The president's been shot. Get an ambulance. Is he okay? Is he okay? Stop breathing.
James Garfield was assassinated by Charles Guiteau while leaving his church. Guiteau's final words were, "I am a stalwart and Chester Arthur is president." Those chilling words made me realize who was really responsible for the president's death. Guiteau believed he was entitled to a cabinet position because of the favors he did for us. I was his true accomplice. At that moment, I realized everything I believed was wrong, that the system I helped create was rotten. Something had to change. I had to change.
I, Chester Arthur, do solemnly swear.
I, Chester Arthur, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States.
that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States.
And to the best of my ability.
And to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, so help me God. Citizens of America, I understand that we are all still in mourning over the sudden and tragic death of President Garfield. Not since Lincoln has our nation so collectively mourned. But President Garfield would have wanted us to move on. It is up to us, as the inheritors of his hopes and dreams, that we make them a reality. That's why, in the upcoming weeks, I'll be introducing comprehensive civil service reform. Government jobs must be awarded based on merit and not political favors. And the authority of the New York Customs House must be greatly reduced. Openness and honesty in government was one of President Garfield's dreams. And to anyone who loves this great land of ours, it should be a dream of yours as well. Thank you.
Murphy, what is it?
Did you see Mr. Arthur's speech last night?
No, I was working with Congressman O'Brien all day yesterday.
The news is replaying it. You might want to check it out.
Okay, fine.
His hopes and dreams, that we make them a reality. That's why, in the upcoming weeks, I'll be introducing comprehensive civil service reform. Government jobs must be awarded based on...
What the hell is he doing?
The New York Customs House must be greatly reduced. Openness and honesty in government.
Hello, I'm trying to speak to Chester Arthur. Yes, I know he's the president. Do you know who I am? Yes, I'm Erskine Conkling. Just, can you schedule an appointment with him for me? Damn it. Yeah, Thursday works.
So I hope you realize I'm taking time out of my very busy schedule to meet with you.
Then I'll try and make this brief, Mr. President. Just what the hell are you doing? I thought you became Garfield VP to undo the damage of Hayes, not expand on it. Just, have you lost your mind?
Listen, our system is rotting and we let it rot. Can't you see that we've turned the United States democracy into an oligarchy?
Listen, if this is about Garfield's death, Guiteau murdered Garfield because he was a lunatic. Our hands are totally clean.
Are they? Are they really? You know, if we never offered Guiteau that position in the first place, he would have never assassinated Garfield.
You're starting to sound like that cuck-servative Devins.
You know, maybe Devins was right after all. Now, how is it fair that we can bribe people with government jobs? How is it fair that we can rig the system?
You know that everything we did it for the greater good.
How is me bribing senators helping a single mother put food on the table?
I can't believe you betrayed me like this! You realize everything you have is because of me?
I'm sorry, Roscoe, but I need to do this. And I hope we can still be friends after I leave office. Anyway, I need to leave now. Meeting with my Secretary of State over El Salvador. I'll see you around. Conkling did as expected and heavily lobbied against the Civil Service Act. I knew something drastic had to be done. Devins, a quick word.
What do you want, Mr. President?
Well, first, I would like to sincerely apologize for all the things I've done to you in the past and all my corrupt dealings, and also to congratulate you on getting your seat back in the Senate.
You really think I believe you? All this talk about civil service reform is just some strategy of yours.
If the Civil Service Act becomes law, it will be the most comprehensive reform the system has had yet. Conkling will filibuster and smear this bill. I need some senators on my side, so please, just please help me out.
I just don't understand. How could you change your position?
Because Garfield was killed because of me. We made a deal with Charles Guiteau, and Garfield refused to comply with the deal, so Guiteau murdered him.
You son of a bitch.
That's why I need to do this. That's why I need your help to correct my mistakes.
Fine. I'll help.
Thank you. You're doing your country a great service.
I'll get Senator Fillmore to meet with you. She's a big proponent of reform, and we'll be glad to comply.
Excellent. Senator Fillmore?
Mr. President? Charles tells me you are serious about reform. Is this true?
Yes, it is, which is why I need you. The bill has already passed the House, but it will die in the Senate unless we do something.
Well, as you know, the Senate Majority Leader is sided with Conklin, so we may only get 30 Republican votes at best. Maybe we can get Senator Walker on our side.
Walker, but he's a Democrat.
This may be true, but he is the minority leader. He might be our only hope to get the votes we need.
I guess you're right.
I think I can convince him. After all, he is a personal friend of mine.
All right, make it happen. I'm counting on you.
So you met with Fillmore?
Yes, and she'll be a tremendous help in getting the bill passed. There's still one big problem. Conkling is hell-bent on destroying us and that bill.
Must be some way to get him out of the Senate.
I think I have an idea. Hopefully he'll take the bait.
President Arthur recently made a bold move by nominating Senator Roscoe Conkling to the Supreme Court. Let us be known to the people that this is the type of pay-to-win corruption we're used to from Washington, D.C. It is well known that Conkling and the President were longtime friends.
Thank you, Nicholas. Can you get some privacy?
So, I'm sure this meeting is about your Supreme Court nomination.
Don't think I don't know what you're doing. You want me out of the Senate, and you think you can get some of those stalwarts to flip by doing it.
Sharp as ever, Conkling.
I'm not taking the position. You better drop this reform garbage, or some of your practices as collector may get out.
You're bluffing. You would never do that because you get indicted as well.
I've gotten out of potential trouble before, and I'll do it again.
What do you mean by that?
Never mind, just forget I said it.
You unbelievable son of a bitch. It was your fault, wasn't it? Why I was the only one who went down for Star Roots.
I think you've lost it. I would never do that to you.
You know, it always seems suspicious to me that Devins could never get enough evidence to indict you. But I realize it now. It's because you altered the Custom House's records, didn't you?
Okay, fine, I did it.
How?
Murphy!
Some friend you turned out to be.
Don't turn your back on me!
Goodbye, Roscoe.
I slept with Nell.
Oh!
Jesus.
Is this true?
Yes. It was 2 years ago. She was lonely. I was bored, so I did it.
I'm going to enjoy seeing you crash and burn. What's so funny?
I have dirt on you now.
Oh, please. I'm the president. Like you're actually going to press charges on me? See you in the Senate.
Sir, isn't this perfect for you?
Not at all.
But the president assaulted you. Isn't that an impeachable offense?
Nicholas, you fail to see the big picture. President Arthur has not yet chosen a vice president yet. And if he were to be impeached, the Speaker of the House would become president. And J. Warren Keffer is far more radical than President Arthur. Not to mention it would just hand the Democrats the next election. It would just do more long-term damage.
I can't believe Conkling would do this to me.
Back then, I knew Conkling's hands weren't clean. In hindsight, I should have pursued him further.
Don't worry about it, it's fine, but it's important that we reopen the investigation now and nail him.
What evidence do we have?
Murphy.
What?
Conkling got Stephen Murphy to alter the documents of the New York Customs House.
Forget Star Roots. We can nail him on obstruction of justice. We just need Murphy to give a testimony. Just let me handle this and you work on passing the bill.
Thanks, Charles. Here. This is Murphy's number. Call him for me.
Thanks.
Alright, so how many senators do we have so far?
48, just 3 shy of the majority.
Damn. Wait, who are the 3 senators who haven't sided with us but are most likely to change their vote?
That would be Russo from Philadelphia, Underwood from South Carolina, and Sharp from California.
Okay, I have an idea. You go on all the mainstream news networks, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, the works. You promote this bill, but you also say it will help the economies of Philadelphia, South Carolina, and California. If enough of their constituents demand them to change their votes, the senators will have no choice but to appease them.
Is this another one of your dirty tricks again?
No, of course not. After all, there's nothing illegal about propaganda.
All right, fine. I'll do it.
Thank you. You know, this just might work after all.
Hello?
Murphy, this is Devin.
No, not here. Okay, so what do you want?
Alright, so what exactly did Conkling tell you to do with the Star Roots documents?
Conkling had me go through the files of Starbucks project and get rid of all his names and replace with Arthur's, thus shifting blame all to him.
Thank you, Murphy. With your testimony in hand, we can finally put Conkling away for good.
I think Mr. Conkling had it coming.
We'll contact you later with further instructions.
Oh, Murphy, there you are. Just come with me real quick. Got something pretty important to talk about.
No problem.
So where are we going, Mr. Conkling?
We're headed somewhere private. You see, I've developed a new strategy to defeat Arthur.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it's crucial that you listen to all of my instructions. Follow me.
So I still don't understand why we're all the way out here.
You see, Chester Arthur was a highly respected member of the Customs House. So I'm afraid there are some people there that may throw us under the bus for his sake. So when we discuss these matters, we should meet in private.
Okay, so what's the plan?
I want to cook up a scandal to hurt his presidency. I want you to forge some documents about Chester's career at the Customs House, and then send them to some investigative journalist who will run the story for us.
Yeah, I can do that. Should be done within a week.
Thanks, Murphy. I knew I could count on you. You can head back. I'm just going to take a quick phone call. Let's go. We're done here.
So, have you read the obituary?
No.
Murphy's dead.
What? You don't think he...
Oh, no, he did it.
I always knew he was a bad man, but a murderer?
Listen, you don't know Conkling like I do. He must have somehow figured out Murphy would testify against him and felt as if he was cornered.
Jesus. It's time he gets what he deserves.
I agree, but what evidence do we have? I mean, he's too careful. Police don't even have any leads.
There has to be something.
Wait a minute. His driver. He takes Richard everywhere he goes. Surely he must have seen him kill Murphy.
Right. I got a friend down at the NYPD. We can question him and hopefully get a testimony.
Okay, good. Let's hope this works.
You have one new message.
Mr. Rousseau, my name is Detective Michael Grassi. Can you please come down to the station this afternoon at 2 o'clock? Thank you.
Mr. Rousseau, I'm Detective Grassi. I left you a message. I appreciate you coming down this afternoon.
Can you just verify your address for me?
18 Oak Street.
Okay. I just want to ask you a few questions about something that occurred.
Am I being detained?
No, I just want you to answer a few questions I have for you.
Charles Devins? Where were you on October 5th between the hours of 2 p.m. and 5 p.m.?
I don't remember.
Oh, spill it. We know your employer, Roscoe Conkling, murdered Stephen Murphy.
Listen, we know you were there, okay? We know you didn't actually strangle him, but we know that you were the wheelman.
I don't remember anything.
All right. All we need you to do is just answer the question.
I don't know. Listen, I know you're scared of what Conkling might do to you if you talk, but consider this. How long would it take him to undermine you regardless? Because sooner or later, you're going to be a liability to him. Just please end this now.
Okay. I saw Mr. Conkling murder Stephen Murphy. I drove them to a discreet location. He took out a rope and strangled him to death. All right, that's all we need.
Thank you.
In the latest news, President Arthur's Civil Service Act was just passed by the Senate and will likely move to be approved by the courts. Many Republicans belonging to the stalwart faction were expecting New York Senator Roscoe Conkling to be a filibuster. However, he didn't even show up for the vote.
After Devins got the driver's testimony, it was no problem getting a warrant for Conkling's arrest. But I wanted to pay him one final visit first.
Sir, after your pockets.
Gentlemen, please, wait here.
Roscoe, surprised to see you in here.
Get out.
Is your office being refurbished or something?
Yeah. What do you care? Just leave.
Now listen, I've always considered you an important person to me. And I'd like to thank you, because without you I would have never made it this far.
You think I don't know what you're doing? Congratulations, you won. You betrayed everything you worked so hard to build, and now you're taking a victory lap.
I suppose you know me too well. But I do have an ulterior motive for coming here. You killed Murphy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no point denying it. Devins already has an eyewitness testimony from your driver.
Fine, you know the truth, but don't think I'm going to spend 1 second in prison. I'll hire the best lawyers in the state.
That may be true, but you will never hold public office again. Say what you want about Americans, but they won't re-elect someone on trial for murder. Face it, Conkling, you've lost.
I think you were my closest ally.
The police will arrive shortly. The way I see it, you can leave with your dignity intact and your head held high, or you can take the coward's way out and run.
Chester, wait. Since this is the last time we'll probably be speaking, I just want to know one thing. You always hated me the way you do right now?
Yes. The New York Customs House, what was once the most powerful political machine, now a shell of its former self. All the real power in this country has returned to the people. Sure, behind the scenes corruption still happened, but the people have the power to make someone president. Unless you maintained a good relationship with the voters, you didn't make it very far in politics. For 4 years I served as President of the United States. My name is Chester Allen Arthur.